said yesterday that if they're in evaluation, are the Browns in evaluation mode?
Sure, why not?
Oh, shut up and answer the question, damn it. Are the Browns in evaluation mode?
Evaluate them all.
All right, so if you're not going to be serious, then I'm going to be serious, and maybe you can get your head out of your ass and join us maybe around 7 o'clock. I think they're in evaluation mode, and I said yesterday, because I said I'm thinking clearly for the first time in weeks. And then somebody sent me a picture of me as dressed as a clown and go, good old clear-headed kid. It's like, damn it, that's right. I felt clear-headed yesterday for the first time in weeks. And I said, guys, I have been thinking about this all wrong. Everything I've done with the Browns is about saving a bad situation. I go, I didn't create this situation. I did not want to trade for Deshaun Watson. Only half of the show wanted to. I didn't want to do it.
I thought he was top 5 quarterback.
I thought it was over for Baker. I'll tell you that. I was wrong on that.
I thought Baker sucked too at the end.
But I did not want. But I didn't have an answer for it. My whole answer was, I don't know. Maybe we're going to have to talk to him and see if we can run this back, because I didn't have any other good answers for it. Because at the time, it's like, who are you going to make a move for? So it was like we're kind of stuck. But I didn't have any faith in him. It's like, well, we're going to have to. I think we're going to have to bring in a vet and have a competition here, because that's where it's at.
Did we talk Jimmy G? It was Jimmy Garoppolo and Derek Carr.
I'll tell you right now, I think Derek Carr was absolutely a conversation, but it sure as hell wasn't me wanting Deshaun Watson. But I've been sitting here thinking the whole time about, why am I trying to save something that might not need to be saved? I need to look forward about how to fix this and then build and do that. And it provided me a lot of clarity, and I'm thinking, guys, they're in evaluation mode, so I'm just going to evaluate. And you go, no, you're an excitable boy. You're going to sit there and get all excited. I go, no, I'm not going to do Super Browns on Monday if they win. And you gave me some unrealistic scenario about how well Dylan Gabriel would play, which is totally unrealistic. And I literally laughed in your face over it.
It's a 25, a 31, 325,
325 was the number of yards. Okay. I hope so, because I'm laughing my ass off. Hardy har har over 325 yards. I heard this clip. I told around on the internet yesterday, and then I saw this clip. I didn't think anything of it, and Keith's like, are they taking a dig at you? Is Andy taking a shot at you here in the midday show? Something about just winning on Sunday got brought up, and here's Baskin and Phelps about beating the Jets on Sunday.
There's no guarantee that you're going to pick a winner in the first round. You got a 50-50 shot. You got 2 chances to try to go out and get a quarterback. Just play the regular season the way you're supposed to play football. Go out and try to win. I don't want to hear about it. I know I brought it up a couple times that the loser of this game is really the winner. I don't care. You need to beat the Jets. You really do. You like the way David Njoku sounded? You know, that's what you need inside a locker room moving forward. Yes, you've got a room full of millionaires. I get it. I understand it. Just play the game and play it the right way. And I don't want to sit around here and think about, ooh, they lost that game. That's a win. I know I said it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're the guy who brought it all up.
Well, I'm just saying, because I know people, I've had 100 people say it to me. They're like, if they can just lose this game, shut up. I don't want to hear it. Just win. Go get a quarterback if that's what you want in the draft. I'd much rather be in a position where Gabriel and Sanders steps up. We have a quarterback for next year. Maybe go out and get a veteran if you want to bring another guy in, but use those first 2 picks for an offensive lineman, or let us pray, a wide receiver.
How's that a shot at me? I listened to that clip. I just want to know, how's that a shot at me?
Is it because
I don't think it is.
You said you wouldn't necessarily be celebrating the win over the Jets?
No, but I didn't say I want them to lose. I don't think that if you win, you're the actual loser of that. No. Andy and I are in the same thought. I don't want them to tank. I don't think tanking really works. Why is that a shot at me? That isn't any shot at me. I think you should be able to beat a team that traded away their two of their best players on defense. By the way, they're taking Quincy Williams. They're making him a backup, Quinnen's brother. So that's a veteran that you already have out of there. So he's on his way out of the Jets. Yep. So, I mean, you have a team right now that is reeling, that you're playing against. Yeah, you should be able to line up and beat them. And Dylan Gabriel will probably pass for a standard fare of 160 yards. And what do you want the average depth of target to be? Something terrible. Yards per attempt, something terrible again. Probably a touchdown, hopefully no interceptions, and you'll probably grind it out to a 17-10 win, and that'll be the end of it.
I think because there's a new play caller this week, I think he is going to throw it all out there. This will be a kitchen sink. Just the new guy takes over.
Tommy, you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, I do think, even though I know that we had audio from Wyatt Teller saying they're going to be the same place. Yeah, but it's just, how these guys like to flex when they get the opportunity. It's what Freddie Kitchens did.
That's fine, but I don't know if they can. I don't think they got the horses to actually do it.
Of course they don't.
You can go 5 wide and do anything you want, but if you ain't got the guys.
But I could see them saying, well, we're playing the Jets. They're demoralized. They got guys waving the white flag. Their general manager already is. So I buckle up. I think you could see Tommy Rees like drawing stuff up because fans eat that stuff up so much. Yeah, nobody loves a trick play like a demoralized fan base.
All right, I mean, you can be as demoralized as you want, but I don't think that guys are sitting there bleeping themselves with fear if Cedric Tillman lines up across from them.
No reason to.
You still have the same people that you have to throw to. So I don't disagree with Andy. Yeah, you should win the game. You should win the game. I'm not going to celebrate them losing the game. I'm just not going to come in here and rant and rave and Super Bowl, Super Browns and hoot and holler if they win.
Even if we get 325.
Fine. If they do something that's completely
kitchen
unbelievable.
Sink game.
If they do something that's completely unbelievable and completely unrealistic, fine. I will hoot and holler and say I was wrong and I'm so happy to be wrong. It ain't going to happen that way. It ain't going to happen that way. You should be, without Quinnen Williams in there, you should be able to move the line around the way you are, move the pocket left and right the way you want to. You should be able to free Dylan Gabriel up to see some lanes, to throw some guys open. But I don't know if he's going to anticipate it any better. And so the whole kitchen sink game, I don't know. They tried to throw the kitchen sink at him against New England.
2 trick plays.
Yeah. Except, again, that ain't Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. That's Gage Larvidan and Isaiah Bond. Whew. It ain't the way it used to be, buddy. So you can only do with what you got.
So you don't foresee with the new play caller and the Jets being down and out, you don't see this being the Jerry Jeudy coming out party for 2025?
I don't know if he's going to have a coming out party this year. You probably have a better chance of an electric football player throwing to him. Okay, that was just me. I'm sorry. 216-474-0092. I mean, do you only care about winning on Sunday? That's all I want them to do is just win the game. You should be able to beat a team like that.
Part of it is I just don't feel like watching a 9-6 game. Like, give me some entertainment.
Guess what, buddy? You're going to be watching a 9-6 game. I don't think you're going to be very entertained.
These teams are both so bad that couldn't we?
Well, no, your offense.
Couldn't we get unintended good offensive play just based on the fact that this is such a weird game to have halfway through the year where both teams, one was supposed to be, making moves at the deadline, the other actually sold off.
Yeah, and you have a team that in the Browns that still has great players, even though that they still need guys on offense. They have some great players on defense. Justin Fields has actually not had a great history against the Browns.
He sacked him 9 times in a game.
Yeah, well, that was the first time out, and then the other game he did well until the defense started to step up, and Joe Flacco got on a heater, and they beat him in the fourth quarter. You remember that?
Yep.
Then there was the dropped Hail Mary at the end of the game that could have beat us. Thank God he didn't hold on to it, because that was probably the difference in the playoffs right there. But all these things I'm saying, like, they're 0-5 at home this year. You're 0-12 on the road. Something's got to give, man. Something's got to happen. You got to be able to go out there and beat them when they've been doing all this stuff, or all this stuff that we've been saying is for nothing. But they're still, at the end of it, they're still pros, and I still think it's going to be a tight game. So you say you're not looking forward to a 9-6 game. Yeah, there's a lot of things that people in life are not looking forward to, but they have to do. So guess what? You're going to have to sit there and watch a 9-6 football game. And again, more of the same, I'm sure, of 143 yards and people bitching online and arguing about whether or not they should put Shedeur in. That's what you're going to get. I hope you're saddled up for it. 216-474-0092. Do you only care about them winning on Sunday? Do people only care about them winning on Sunday? I agree with Andy. You just go out there and win. Just go out there and win. Show that you have a good defense. Show that you can do something on offense. Make us talk about Tommy Rees in a different way. A little bit. But I'm not going to sit here and I'm standing firm on this. I'm not going to come in here and whoop it up and make myself a fool
what's going to happen
before they get ready to play the Baltimore Ravens the next Sunday.
I know we got to go. You know for a fact if the offense explodes this week, it's going to be an indictment on Stefanski.
The
fans are going to line up and say, why did we waste this entire season with Kevin? You
got to help me with something here. Kevin Stefanski's a lot of things. I want to know from you guys. Do you guys think Kevin Stefanski's egotistical? I got more on Darius Garland coming up at around 7:20 here, and we got Danny Cunningham coming up, and also there's some hot takes by somebody at the Fan about Shane Bieber that we got to get to later on today. I listened to them yesterday, and it's like right after the Ross Tucker interview. Like JP's calling Kevin egotistical, and I'm like, I don't see it. Help me where he's egotistical. Go ahead, here it is.
To really show you jump-started, you got to win against the Jets to show that this worked.
Well, it's a good opportunity then, because the Jets stink. You're now, I think, 2.5 favorites on the road. Place the Browns have not won in 12 games. You have an opportunity to get that win. I find it fascinating. Ross's point about not telling us, because he's right. What if he just not said anything?
I mean, in fairness, they don't tell us anything else.
I know. That's what kind of makes this is so interesting to me. Is that only so afterwards we know who to blame and who not to blame? Because I think there's a part of Stefanski that is too egotistical to let that go and be like, that's somebody else that made that call. I think he likes this all too much, and I don't know that he could have gotten away with it.
I don't understand it. Was he egotistical when he was forced to make Shedeur Sanders the backup? When he allowed that to happen? I want to know. Was he egotistical when he made Ken Dorsey the play caller? Was that egotistical? It was the same results. It was still not good.
Wait, are you saying these things have been forced upon him?
I'm not saying everything's been forced upon him. I just want to know, of all the things that I disagree with Kevin Stefanski, and the list is not terribly long, but the record stands on its own. They're 5-20. He's not been good. You can't dance around that. It's not been good. You're the head coach of the football team. It falls on you. But this whole thing, Tommy Rees ends up being a scapegoat for Kevin Stefanski. No, he doesn't. He's the head coach of the football team. You're the head coach. So if you went to Tommy Rees thinking Tommy Rees was going to be worse to somehow save your name, you've completely undermined the organization of what you're supposed to be in charge of. He can't do that. He wouldn't do that. You can have a lot of problems with Kevin Stefanski. Hell, if there's anything, I don't think he's egotistical enough. Because again, did Kevin Stefanski, did Kevin really want Baker to go out there and play with a hurt arm? Did he want that to happen? He allowed it. Did he want to keep Jadeveon Clowney after Jadeveon Clowney made an ass out of himself in a postgame? Did he want to do that? I don't think he did. In fact, I'm not going to talk that much further about that. But I don't think he did. Did he really want to do that? There's a lot of things. If anything, I don't think Kevin's egotistical enough. You can say he's bad at his job now, or it's ran its course. That's fine. But I've watched Mike McCarthy in a press conference before. Guys, I'm good at this, all right? I know what I'm doing. And I've seen him do that when the walls were closing in on Mike McCarthy. We've seen Curt Cignetti do it, and I like Curt Cignetti. You want to talk about ego? Curt Cignetti's got a huge ego. Yeah. That's a guy I like. I don't see ego when it comes to Kevin. I don't understand this.
Yeah, there's a couple things. I don't ever really care when sports talk radio show hosts, I'll hear it all the time. They'll say, they're trying to be the smartest guy in the room. They have all the ego in the world. And it's like, yeah, I think the best coaches are the smartest guys in the room.
The smartest guys in the room.
And I do think they have an immense amount of ego. I think McVay, I think Shanahan. Those got Bill Belichick when things were humming. Smartest guy in the room? Yes. Check. Ego, check.
Uh-huh.
So that doesn't really bother me. I would expect, I want guys operating in that industry to be in the upper 1% of everybody. But be that as it may, the thing with Stefanski that I think has kind of happened over time is that I don't think he's on the same equal footing as Andrew Berry.
No.
I think I don't know if it's that he's lost power, but I certainly think Andrew Berry has probably gained it. And I think that's been a detriment to the organization and to the team.
I don't think that egotistical, it's just not one of the words that come to my mind when I think of Kevin. Sometimes I think maybe a little bit too meek. He's a grown man. That's a tough thing to say about another grown man, but I'm like, man, there's times where it just looks like to the fans where there's a lot of decisions that it's like, come on, you can't agree with this. You can't agree with this. And again, I keep going back to the Shedeur Sanders situation. You all know damn well he did not want to make Shedeur the backup quarterback. And I know that some people go, well, that decision was made good. If he had that big of an ego, could he have not said something about it? If he had that big of an ego, could he have gone, no, I'm the head coach of this damn football team, and Bailey Zappi's going to be the backup quarterback because this guy is not ready to do it yet. He could have done all those things. So wait, he's got a big ego because he just lets people walk over him? I'm asking a question. He doesn't. There are definitely things that aren't great about Kevin. One of them is that I think he does let a lot of people take power over him. I think he does kind of stand idly by. I think he's forced into having to answer for things that he really shouldn't have to answer.
Well, put it this way, Kent. There are teams where it is so unequivocal. What'll come to mind, like New England. It's so obvious. It doesn't even need to be stated who's building whose team that is. It's Mike Vrabel. Mm-hmm. That's why they went out and got him. Okay, the same thing the minute Jim Harbaugh is somewhere. Mm-hmm. Pretty clear who's in charge, right? I don't know. Do you ever get that?
No.
Do you ever get the idea that it is definitely Cleveland? That is Stefanski's shop.
No.
That is his place. He rules the roost there. You just never really hear that. Now,
did Kevin want to let go of Alex Van Pelt?
No.
Okay.
No chance.
So egotistical is not the word to describe Kevin Stefanski. I'm sorry. If you don't like Kevin Stefanski and think he's a bad coach, Jonathan, hey, that's fine. 5-20 over the last 2 years is terrible. The proof is for itself. Egotistical isn't one of the words. I don't think that he lined up. He's not going to take one of his assistants and go, hey, he's going to be the guy and he's going to make me look real good. Good to who? Because, by the way, if you did that, and I know everybody, and I understand the people who are anti-Stefanski think that the rest of the league is brainwashed. And that can be frustrating, too. I mean, I've heard Ross talk about how great he is and how bad of a decision would it be to fire him. And we saw Dan Orlovsky threatening the fans, going, yeah, you go ahead and you fire him and see what happens. And it's like, guys, the word gets around. If he was going to just undermine his own organization and put himself over, like, that's going to get around. That's not going to go well. It's not going to go well whatsoever.
I know these are small things for us to try to add up and to try to build a storyline out of it, but I don't know. Have you ever heard about, well, coach ripped into us like never before? I just heard that with the Cavs yesterday.
Yeah, Kenny Atkinson.
With their head coach.
Let him have it.
Have you ever heard we've had plenty of players, it's been 6 years. Where are the anecdotes of, guys, at halftime of that game, Kevin started screaming at us, got our attention, and then we rallied in the. I've just never.
Not in game, but Tonio brought it up that I forget what game it was after. Maybe it was after Pittsburgh that he did come in there and he had a different tone. He did yell at him after that game, and then they came out and win, and they went. That was brought up on I think on the Monday meeting.
He's been coach for 6 years.
Yeah, I'm not defending it. I'm just telling you that's a fact.
And the fact that it's even noticeable shows how jarring it is that he is so even.
Yeah, we've pointed out so many times that even when he, after a win and he comes in and he's dropping F-bombs, it's not that it doesn't feel right. It's just a different thing than what we're presented every time that Kevin Stefanski talks, right? He is not Dan Campbell.
Well, and I'll tell you, I think the COVID year and the coach of the year stuff, I think those were seasons where you could accentuate his strengths. His strengths, maybe even Keel was a strength during a situation like that.
And you're right.
But when everything hits the fan and things are going south, and you've got personalities in a locker room, like even Keel's not going to cut it. Like you need a Mike Tomlin to step in and kind of corral that thing and say the buck stops here. And I just never get the vibe that that's the case.
And how many times have I said he doesn't have the leaders in there, and he's not that leader. He's more of a manager. And because he's more of a manager, I don't think that he's some evil doer. Like, Owen, you brought up a hell of a point there. When he cusses, like Dan Campbell, you could tell. I'll make movie references all the time to illustrate a point. Dan Campbell, when he says words, you can tell there's Walter Sobchak in there. That's a good cusser who knows what he's talking about. When Kevin does it, you remember the scene about the True Coat from Fargo? And Bucky finally, you're a bleeping liar. Like it's like it takes him all that to drop F-bombs in there with grown men. It's not that guy. He's not that guy.
It's not what we've been presented as Browns, observers, right? Of anything that you've ever seen from there. The fire doesn't even. You don't have to be a cusser to be a cusser, right? But you can tell when people have fire, an internal fire that is waiting to come out, and it doesn't ever feel like that's there.
Yes. And it doesn't, he is a manager. He doesn't do that. And then Andrew Barry comes in and goes, I can knock $100 off that True Coat. I can make Shedeur Sanders the backup when you really don't want him to be. Like, that's what it is. There's no, I've watched a guy, 2-time coach of the year, he's lost power. And maybe we'll find out it's all punitive. Maybe he's made decisions, but I really don't think so. And talking to the people that I've talked to, I really don't think so. So take from what you will. That's all I'll say about that. But when I think about him, like when I think about Andrew, I think about, man, he got mixed up. He's trying to save a bad situation. He made a bad deal. This is bad. Fine. Kevin, I don't think about ego, and there's times it's like, man, I just wish you would get out of there on the podium and start to tell some of the people, like, you really think I wanted to do some of these things? You really think I wanted to do that? He ain't going to do it. He never will. And so ego is not one of them things, and I don't think he's putting Tommy Rees in to be the offensive coordinator. I think it's more logical. Do you think that it was not his decision to make Tommy Rees the play caller instead of making Tommy Rees the play caller in some ways to save himself? Because I've said it all week. Nick came in yesterday. He wanted it yesterday. And I think it goes without saying. You had a young guy who left you before in Kyle Shanahan. You had another young guy who left you before in Kevin O'Connell. They've gone on to success. Don't think for a second Tommy Rees is not auditioning to be the future head coach of this Browns football team. Don't think for a damn second. Two young guys is a team that loves to overcorrect on previous mistakes. They are absolutely, there is something there. So you're going to have to deal with it. But damn, like the ego thing, no, I don't see that. 216-474-0092. He's a football coach. He likes to call plays. That's all true. But when it comes to some of these things, ego gets in the way. There's a lot of ways you can describe him that are a negative way. Ain't going to be that.